This is TWiT.
How about Turkey? This worries me a little bit. Here in the United States...
Oh, the country.
I love turkey.
How about some turkey?
Wait a minute.
Sure.
You got stuffing? You got mashed potatoes? No, the country of Turkey. In the United States, the Federal Communications Commission regulates broadcast. And that's reasonable because you're using a resource that's owned by the country, by all the people of the country, the airwaves, the spectrum. And so they regulate that. They do not regulate podcasts. We are not regulated by the FCC.
Fortunately.
And well, you know, and we're not swearing up a storm. We're not using the 8 dirty words. We're not.
Not yet.
Ant's just joined us. It's new. It could happen.
Surprise.
John won't let you do that.
But we're not. The government has no say in what we do.
Right.
Bloggers can say whatever they want, and I think on the balance, that's free speech. That's appropriate.
Right.
I understand why the FCC regulates broadcast spectrum. I understand why they don't regulate online, and that's a good thing. In Turkey, the radio and television watchdog, which is the RTUK, has now been given permission to have oversight over all online content, including streaming platforms like Netflix, online news outlets. This, to me, is exactly the thing. And I could even see that happening in the U.S. where people say, no, we've got to control, we've got to control terrorism. It's because the Turkish government is moving towards authoritarianism.
And
Erdogan
have been for a while. Yeah.
Wants to be a dictator and obviously wants to control anti-Erdogan sentiment.
And the internet is heavily censored in Turkey.
Already.
In my experience, yeah.
The aim of this regulation, says the regulation, is to establish the methods and principles to regulate the presentation and provision of radio, television, and on-demand broadcast services, the handing of broadcast licenses to media service providers, the granting of broadcast authorities to platform administrators, and the supervision of the broadcast in question. You have to get a license now to be a podcast, to do what we're doing. In Turkey.
Wow.
I mean, this is part of a global trend where certain authoritarian rulers are looking to China and Russia as models for how they can succeed in politics by controlling the media, controlling the dissidents, all that stuff. So it's...
You remember when there were coups in a country in the old days, the first thing they do is take over the TV and radio station.
That's
right?
right.
You control the media, you control the broadcast media, you control what people learn about the coup.
Yeah.
But now you've got the internet. It's a lot harder to control it.
Well, and these guys are amateurs compared to China. I mean, China censors social media in real time. You type Winnie the Pooh into Weibo, and it vanishes.
Henry and I were in China in 2009, 10 years ago. It was the Uyghur revolt was happening, the Muslim minority in China. We were watching CNN. Michael Jackson had just died. We were watching the funeral. All of a sudden, it goes black for 3 minutes and comes back because they were doing a story on the Uyghur revolt, and they just snip it out in real time. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I went to CES Asia back in June, and that's my first time in China. Blew my mind as a content creator.
Where in China was it?
Shanghai.
Yeah.
Shanghai.
It's a wild city, isn't it?
Shanghai is pretty daggum cool.
Yeah.
Pretty daggum cool. But as a content creator, I struggled because
you can't get to Facebook,
can't
you
get
can't
my
to Twitter,
stuff
you
out.
can't get,
You know, that's part of my gig. I got to get my stuff out, and people knew I was going. You know, as I got a scholarship to go. Thank you, CTA, for that. And
that's cool.
And people were looking forward to the content, and it took a while to get.
You wait till I get home.
Right.
So I wrote a piece about this last week for Computer World and IDG. Basically, people talk about the Splinternet, and my contention is that the Splinternet is just a fact of life. It's already here, and China is the poster child for that. I mean, if you have a list of the top 20 services that people use on the internet, none of us have heard of any of them.
Right.
And if you take a top 20 list of our favorite places to go on the internet, those are all blocked in China.
Yeah.
It's a different internet. The whole experience is completely different. Everything is different. The Splinternet is real. And I think that, again, there are lots of countries that are trying to emulate China. Russia's the most aggressive in emulating China, but China is the gold standard in authoritarian and AI control of speech in real time and media, etc. And you know, it's problematic. We need a stronger counter effect in the.
Just for kicks and giggles, I was trying
world.
to connect to whatever, and I couldn't. And so I said I'd call up customer service just to see what was going to happen. In
China.
Yeah, just to see what was going to happen. And I was using, I believe, former sponsor ExpressVPN.
They're still a sponsor?
And I was using that service, and the representative just told me straight out, "Oh, you're using VPN? No, that's not allowed
Can't
here."
do it.
Yeah.
Just like that.
They recently banned VPNs in Russia as well.
Just
In Russia, really?
In Russia, yeah.
pretty
it's illegal.
ballsy, and hey, whatever. I don't want that.
Yep.
I don't want that internet.
No. Yeah.